everyone, welcome to the stream. And today we are going to be basically rerunning the stream that we did yesterday, which went horribly wrong on two accounts. To begin with, it was first we started stalling like really bad, and then it just kept going. Even when we restarted it, it just kept on going wrong. So at the end, there was nothing we could do. So we went ahead and decided to just simply end the mission right there. And yeah, uh, I basically learned a lot from the last stream. Sorry, I was doing something else. Yeah. Okay, back to focus. I learned a lot from the last stream, and I've decided to change a little bit of how I operate this future missions that I'll be doing with OnAir Airline Manager. I think my flaps are still done. We'll fix that later. Yeah, but what I learned is that if we are flying on a remote location like that, we have to make sure that we pick airports that are suitable. Like for example, yesterday I came over here. It was a broken runway in between a road. You can see like there are cars passing. Look at that truck just passing another car coming. So we have to be smart about that, and with the given weather and no meter information and all that, I think I've decided that we are going to conduct these flights in a professional way. I got myself a checklist, and also what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that we choose airports that have at least a beacon light or something. Because on the last mission yesterday, we chose an airport that was on top of a hill with no weather information or anything like that, and we ended up crashing and ending the flight right there. So with all those things in mind, let's go ahead and get started with this with the new goal in mind. Let's start today. So right now we're in a remote location. The code is 0 Zulu 2. Let's see what missions we can get from here. I mean, we already have a pending mission that we failed to do yesterday, so we're gonna abandon that because that location is just not good. So we'll abandon that and let's go to logistics center, and the only thing that I'm gonna change is the airport minimum size. Let's try choosing 2, and then let's search with the given restrictions on range 25 to 60, and there is no mission, so let's go ahead and increase that to about 80. I think with the airport size of 2 it's gonna be hard. Yeah, there are no airport size of 2 around here, so let's search up airport 1. Okay, we have one, and yeah, so if airport 1 is this Alpha Alpha 09er, then it's just bad because this is basically where yesterday we went and we crashed. You can't see the runway markings at all because of all the snow, and we crashed right over here. If I can zoom out, so there's like a ditch over here and then a hill, so we literally crashed right over here. So not wanting to do that, let's see if there's anything else we can choose. There's not much to go down south. You know what I think I'll do? I'll increase it to 120 nautical miles, and let's see if we find anything down south, because we have to go near Anchorage where our special mission is awaiting us. Okay, here you go. We got a mission here, Birch Creek. Let's go and look at that. Also a remote strip. I think I'm gonna avoid that. There's lake and everything like that. I am pretty sure I won't be able to see, but here we can see a proper airport. Talkeetna. Okay, Talkeetna. Let's see if we can do something here. The only mission we have is we still have to go to one of the remote locations. That sucks. Let's see if we can find anything else. How about this? Haggard's Landing. Let's see how this is. Well, it is. Yeah, we don't have an amphibian of the Kodiak 100. The problem is the only way we can get through these missions is we still have to go to this Bush Creek. So let me try to increase it even further. Let's see, 140 nautical miles. Do we get anything? Yeah, well, now we can straight up go to our home base. I guess this is what I have to do. Oh my god, and this is like a 3 leg mission, and we still have to go through the Bush Creek area, which I'm trying to avoid so much. Let's see if there's anything for Wolf Creek itself. If I cancel, so everything is gonna take us to this Bush Creek where I really don't want to go, as we don't have a good experience there. The only option I have is to switch from live weather, if that is the only way we can do all this. So unfortunately we might have to switch to live weather, because with the given weather conditions it is impossible that we can do any missions to this place. So I guess but even if we do that, it might cause a problem with OnAir Airline Manager. Very confused here, because I know even if I try here it's not gonna end well. So what do? Do we go back and then we decide to come down this way? 100 nautical miles. Let's see if there's anything else favorable that we can do. A single leg mission. So the only mission here is 2 legs, and first we have to go to Bush Creek. So I really don't want to do that. It's like I'm trying to avoid this so much, but still. I guess, there's only one way. We actually do the mission. So let's go to 60 and we will choose, and let's see. If it goes bad, it goes bad. Nothing else to do, so we're just gonna choose this, and we'll try to keep it to just 900. We're not gonna carry too much. We want to be a little bit light, so we're just gonna take this mission, and let's go to loading center, and we're gonna load up. We already have enough fuel. We should be good with the fuel at least. We cannot refuel anyways. So let me quickly write down all the data that we need, if I can find my pen. Okay, I have a pen, so fuel is 1046 pounds. That should be good. And then cargo, once we load up, is 945. Okay, with that data, let's go ahead, validate fuel and payload. And while it's validating, and it will take us about a minute, I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and set our fuel weight and balance. So we do not need a co-pilot. We're gonna put it 0. I'm actually very irritated right now, because I know going over there it's gonna be very hard. We have enough fuel, that is fine. We just need payload. So we're gonna start from the front. We'll go to the main cargo bay 1. We're gonna put about 200 to 250 pounds there. Okay, let's go to the cargo bay 2, max 200. So we're gonna put 250 over there as well. So that gives us 500 with the pilot 690. Then we're gonna go to roll left, 150 pounds here, 150 pounds here. We are very close. And then we're gonna go on the cargo shelf and go ahead and put 180 here. We can just put 150. This should, yeah, that is perfect. So we have perfect center of gravity as well. With that set, let's try to see if everything goes well. Yeah, there you go. Everything is good. We can go ahead and start tracking. So the tracking set, and I have my checklist over here. Let's go inside. First thing first, we are going to make sure our parking brake is set, which it is set. Yep, there you go. Parking brake is set. And master switch. Hold up, I need to remove this light. Actually, before I remove this light, let me bring the fuel shut off valves, and then firewall shut off valve will be pushed in. Master switch is gonna come on. Avionics switch is gonna come on. Let's turn on the lights. Nav and beacon is gonna turn on, as we're gonna start our engine pretty shortly, not wasting too much time. Okay, outside temperature. Before that, let me just pull out my displays here so I can see them better. Yeah, outside temperature is -11, which means we'll have to do some of the stuff. Okay. So let's go ahead with the checklist. Nav lights are on, beacon light is on. Initial separator will have to be on bypass today because the outside air temperature is less than 4 degrees Celsius, -11 actually, and also we're in loose ground. So fuel selector valves are on, firewall fuel shutoff is pushed in. All the levers that I can see on my Bravo throttle quadrant are on idle, feather and cut-off position. Flaps are up as we confirmed. Circuit breakers should be in, and all of this is good. I can see on my MFD over here that the bus voltage is minimum 25 instead of 24, so that is good. Beacon light is on, propeller area is clear, we can confirm that. So let's go ahead and have a low motor start. So auxiliary fuel pump is going to be on, ignition will be on, and starter will go to low. Now it's very cold conditions, so we might not have everything as we want in terms of NG. It does not reach 53 or 52%, so we have to still proceed. Let's put the fuel condition lever idle
until you land and shut down the engines.
Let's wait for the NG to rise. Hopefully it's gonna rise on 53. Last few times it did not. Yeah, there you go. Oh wow, it actually did. That's nice. So we're gonna go ahead, switch the starter switch, ignition switch, and auxiliary fuel pump to standby. Propeller will go max forward, and let's go ahead, turn on generator, alternator, and auxiliary bus. I'll turn on the heating system for us. Okay, with all that set, let's go ahead and turn on pitot heat. So let's go pitot heat, and because we don't have any ADC services, we're just gonna use B key to set our altimeter here. No shame in that, as we have no other way to really get it. There is no meter service. Next thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our flight plan. So let's go to flight plan. Where we are is 0, and then we are in Zulu 2. So here we go, road commissioner number 1, runway. Right now we are facing runway 18, so we're gonna enter that. For destination we have Alpha Alpha 09er. So Alpha Alpha 09er. So Bush Creek. Now I don't know what the weather is there, not really sure. We're just gonna choose runway 25 for now. Let's go ahead, press enter. For procedure, we are going to select procedure and visual runway 25, straight in, minimums, radio altimeter of 500. Let's go ahead and load that up. We have that loaded up. Now here you can see the elevation is really high, but right before we do the landing, it's actually not there's a fall. So we really gotta be careful around those areas. We might have to do few passes, especially with the light. It's early morning in Alaska there. So let's go to our autopilot system that we might or might not use. Let's put it up to 8,500 just to start with. So 8,500 is set. Vertical speed mode will be on. We'll be climbing at about 1,800. Other than that, everything else is set. I'll just reset my heading bug here. There you go. We will keep our heading bug on, heading mode on for autopilot. Zoom in on my inset map just a little bit. Okay, with all that set, Look at that early morning sun. That sunrise looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's see what's up on our checklist next. We are already lined up with the runway, so we can skip our taxi. We'll set our flaps, and pitot heat is already on and confirmed. Flight controls were good. Elevator trim, yeah, that's something that really messed me up yesterday. So elevator trim looks like already set. We do not really have to set much more. So trim is set. Now rudder trim, I will set that up just a little bit. So auxiliary fuel pump is going to come on. Our landing and strobe will come on. Fuel point is checked. Flaps is set. Trims are set. Rudder trim is set. Initial separator goes to engine inlet, and static heat is on. With all that set and fuel condition lever is going to go full high idle, we are good for the takeoff. So parking brake comes off, and we're gonna hold onto our brakes here. RPM until it hits 2000, and there you go. We're gonna lift off shortly. We have to actually. Whoa!
Airborne time
Okay,
logged.
there you go. We almost hit that thing over there. It's crazy. I mean, we might have hit actually. Who knows? Okay, flaps can go up. I'll turn on my yaw damper and bring back my rudder trim. Auxiliary fuel pump can go off. And inset map, I'll zoom out a little bit so that I can see what's coming up front of us. So to avoid all the mountains, let's go ahead, turn on our autopilot system. I'll go to heading bug, and we're gonna take a left turn here. That is beautiful, wow. Red skies. We can go to procedure and activate approach already, just to have an idea how we're gonna go there. It's gonna be very interesting. Like yesterday, it was a very bad experience trying to land there. Hopefully visibility is gonna be pretty good. All the flaps are up. After takeoff checklist, so recommended time. So flaps up, yaw damper is on, auxiliary fuel pump is on standby. Static heat, let's see, the temperature is still negative 12, so that is going to stay on. Engine inlet will still stay on. Let me see. Yeah, outside temperature is definitely really bad. We can go ahead and turn it off, but you know what, actually I'll just leave it on. Other than that, everything else is looking good. Landing lights is on until 10,000 feet, which we will not cross today, and we don't need oxygen right now. Okay, everything is good. Checklist is done. Next we're gonna be doing the checklist for cruise and descent. We are currently crossing over 6,900 feet, climbing towards 8,500. Our landing elevation is gonna be, what is the elevation? 4,000 feet, wow. But that view is so beautiful, look at that. That is just so pretty. can slowly start taking right turn, as we don't see anything on our inset map that will be on our way. We're going to be crossing few mountains, and then we're going to be on our way towards the approach. Shouldn't take us too long. Our top of descent is in about 12 minutes, and once we start cruising, that's going to drop down as well. So for our cruise, we'll set our RPM to 2000, and yeah, should be a good cruise. As we're stabilized on our altitude, I'm going to pull back my power, and then I'll start pulling back my RPM. Give me a second. Okay, had to attend to a call, but now I'm back and I've gone ahead, set our altitude to 4,500 and turn on our VNAV. So we're gonna be descending on what the aircraft thinks, but at the same time we gotta keep an eye for our all the mountains near us. One thing that I'm gonna go ahead and do is map output, and I'll turn on relational map here. I think that's what's gonna help us, and over here we can go ahead and put topo. So with that setting, I'm not gonna be beginning of this flight, as I said, I'm not really that happy that we're going to have to do this mission, but at the same time this is the only option and it's a challenge, so let's see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't go as bad as it did last time. I'm just gonna go ahead and activate the approach one more time, so this way we are completely lined up, and this will increase our top of descent time to about 2 minutes. Look at that beautiful moon right over there. This simulator has come so far. Very proud of it. And the views in Alaska are just beautiful. The only thing that I am not a big fan of is everything is white over here. Like, it's just snow everywhere. It's very hard to distinguish runways and airfields from regular land. And hopefully we can make a landing today. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge, just like last time, but we got this. We're almost there. We should be there in about, we're around 6 minutes away. So to prepare for our descent, let me go through the checklist for our descent. Very simple. Static heat is on. Initial temperature will stay on. Approach procedure is set and activated, and I think we started descent here. No, we didn't. It's just wind. We have some extreme headwind. Not extreme, I'd say like 17 knots. I don't like the direction right now, because when we land it might turn into a crosswind, which will not be good at all. Well, power will be set to as desired, and I'm gonna quickly reset our altimeter using B key. Once again, I'm using B key just because there is no ATC services that we can use to get our altimeter. With all that set, we should be good for our descent, which is gonna start in just about few seconds. So our landing strip is somewhere around one of these hills, where the landing strip is right on top of the hill, which makes it a challenge. But let's see, we'll do one or two passes, and if we don't feel like it's gonna work, then we'll just go to our alternate airport, the Palmer Buddy Woods, where we definitely have to cancel the mission, but it is what it is. We might just have to decide on that. Oh, the nav was not on. I think that is why. Okay, we will go ahead, procedure, activate approach one more time. This will get us on our path, and we'll go start descending again. Where is our top of descent? In about 8 minutes. Okay, there you go. Now we have started descending. Cut down my power. I'll zoom in on my main map. I don't need the flight plan section anymore. And we'll keep an eye on the terrain around us. If I do end up landing, I'm gonna be extremely happy, because last time we didn't make it. So hopefully this time we can. The light looks good. The sun is shining on those mountains and hilltops, so we should be good. Pretty soon I know I'm gonna turn off the autopilot, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'll put my RPM to max. Yeah. For landing, all we have to do is make sure flaps are full. Auxiliary fuel pump will go on, and that will basically be it. And also your damper, it has to go off. With all those things set and ready, we should be good for the landing. Beautiful sunrise here in Alaska, which I'm 100% enjoying, while I'm dying inside because of I'm not really that. It's just, you know, the experience that I had yesterday. It was not good. It was not a good experience at all. I'm gonna go ahead, turn off my autopilot here, and I'll go ahead and fly it myself. Cut down power. I'll stay within 135 knots. I don't wanna. The last thing that I want is to go fast on this approach. And I think there is no other way that we can come around and land on the opposite runway of runway 07 because of the terrain around it. The surrounding terrain makes it really, really tough. Gotta keep an eye out here. Zoom in on my map. A little bit too much on the right. Bring back the power up. Look at that. The terrain is. So we are still above it. That's good, but. Going to stay within here. Let's go ahead and put our flaps to 10 to begin with. I'm feeling a bit more comfortable right now for some reason. I feel like I will be able to do this without too much of an issue. It is in one of those hilltops as far as I remember. Your damper is gonna go off, auxiliary fuel pump will come on, flaps is gonna get set for 20. Radio altimeter tells us we're just about 1,000 feet above. This tells us we are right on the way. So I believe it's that area right there. We got this time. As long as the land is flat, we should be able to land, no problems whatsoever. Your damper is already off. We are doing good on our speed 2. I'll go ahead and put my flaps down full. Yesterday I think the visibility was very, very low as well, which is why I ended up crashing. So we just have to land on top of that hill. That's basically it. We got this, come on. Let's go ahead and land her.
140 at 6 knots.
It's gonna be hard.
Landing time logged.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was extremely bad. But you know, that's basically what we had to do. Yeah, that was 492. I mean, where am I gonna land here? That's the crazy thing. Are we even on the airport or airfield? Let me quickly do this. Flaps are up. Let's go to our MFD and turn our map and see are we even there. It seems like we're towards the end of the runway. Yeah. I mean, we made it, but it was not good. See, like, where do I don't even see a runway here. It's just a random place. For takeoff, I'm really concerned. I don't even know how we're gonna do the takeoff. Let me bring the map and check it. So it says there should be a runway, but honestly there is nothing. Oh wow, yeah, we landed way farther. I don't even know how to fix this, but let's see. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to move towards that whatever airfield or whatever it is, and let's see if we can make it. And we did land very high. Yeah, this is not going well. I'm gonna make sure that I'm ready for whatever comes forward. This is just crazy. It's like, you know, driving. This does not give me a good feeling. Is this gonna be a waste again? Like, I'm really concerned. And where the heck is the airport? How am I even gonna take off from this place? Yeah, this is a good idea, honestly. We got ourselves in a very tricky situation here. I mean, the last thing that I can do is what I don't want to do, but I feel like that is the only way. So let's see if we can portal ourselves to the runway. Go. Yep. That is the only thing that we could have done. I did not want to, but that's the only thing. And now let me set up the parking brake. Even the parking brake cannot hold my plane here. See? Yeah, even the parking brake just cannot hold it. Oh, okay, never mind. It did. When the heck did this flip? Okay, with all the shenanigans, I don't know what to say, but yeah, this is how we're gonna finish this mission at least, and never coming back to this airfield again. This puts the entire thing on doubt. Like, I'm like so confused right now. Let's turn off everything and go ahead and turn off our engine. Landing and strobe can come off. Feather and fuel condition lever cut off.
Engine off time logged. So
I
flight
don't know how
is
the
finished.
mission is going to...
It has been monitored by OnAir.
Yeah, it says very hard and all that, G-force axis and all that stuff, but you know what? At least it read it. And this is not how it's supposed to go, but it went like that. Nothing to do. Yeah, this is like a downhill runway completely, and there is no way this is an airfield. and all the missions basically had to go through this. So with all that shenanigans away, let's go ahead and prepare for our next flight and hope that it's gonna be better and we can get out of this place once and for all. And I'm banning this place. We are not landing in this stuff again. Let's go to logistics center and choose our profile and search up a new mission. Okay, I think this is going south. If I can zoom out properly, it's a size 1 airport. And is this even an airport? Yeah, no, this is the same thing. Yep. I mean, this is what I wanted from this new trip and all that, but it's not just going as planned. Or it is going as planned, but I'm just not liking it. I think that the weather really makes it difficult as well. Well, let's see if we can go here. Everything is 1. Everything is, all the airports are size 1, but at least this airport might be visible from away. So we're choosing this. Pause. Nice name. Hopefully it's gonna go well. There's 2 mission here. PSP, no. So we're just gonna take this one, which is just 1 leg mission, and it should take us straight there. Let's go ahead, fuel up, and get out of this place. Load it up. Fuel will be 920 pounds, and payload will be 607. So 920 and 607. We'll validate that. Beacon light can come off. Engine is not on. And while that is being set, let's go ahead quickly set our weight and balance. I don't know how I'm gonna take off. We'll have to do the short field take off here, which is how? Yeah. So we're gonna be on flaps 20, and we'll apply full power and hold the brakes until we're ready to go, and we're gonna lift off at 60 knots. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Fuel 923 pounds, so perfectly aligned. In terms of payload, we have to decrease our payload, so we are 1000. So press on fly now. Let's see how much we have to decrease. Yeah, we are overweight here, so we're gonna make this into 150. We're gonna make this into 150. We're gonna remove all weight from here, and 790. Yep, with our pallet and everything, we are good with this. I'm going to keep my trims just a little bit, not too much, because we're good. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our engine. Same thing as refuel pump. Beacon light can come on. Ignition, and we'll wait for the NG to hit 14%. Fuel condition lever to low idle. With the fuel, oh my god, we gotta cancel that. So let's go ahead, cancel all of that. Now it says the fuel is a bit too much, but I don't see that to be a bit too much. Okay, hold up. I think I pressed reset or something here, but okay, we're good with fuel. Now we can go ahead and start our engine. And waiting for NG to reach minimum 14%. Fuel condition lever goes to thing, and we can start tracking. Should have started tracking a little bit ahead of time.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
ITT is going on red, so hopefully that will come on green. Prop max. I don't want to burn out my engine here, so waiting for the ITT to come to green. I don't know what that caused. Ooh, okay, this can come on. Bypass, nothing. Yeah, the ITT is not coming to greens. Interesting. Let's go ahead and turn on all of these things. slowly coming down, but that is not a good sign. We definitely damaged the engine a little bit. Pitot is on. That's on bypass. Let's go ahead while... See, it's still on red. ITT. I don't know what can bring that down, but RPM is also on max. Hopefully it's gonna come down by itself. Let's go ahead to our flight plan. And what we're gonna do is menu. So we're gonna invert the flight plan, but this time our destination is going to be... I'm gonna clear that. Destination, and our destination is... What is it? Man, this engine is getting cooked. Pause. So P... Papa Alpha Whiskey Sierra. So there you go, we have weather and it's calm. That's crazy. We're going towards... So we're just gonna select runway 22, enter procedure, select approach. We have an RNAV. Oh my god, you know what, I'm gonna take that. We're gonna go to ZEX2, radio altimeter should be good. We're gonna go ahead and load this, and we are set to go. We are set to go, flaps are set. We're gonna reset our heading bug here. ITT is still going crazy. Fuel condition level can go to high idle. Yep, hoping that ITT comes down. So for short we'll take off. Flaps will be set to 20. Auxiliary fuel pump can come on. Landing and stroke can come on. We're gonna hold on to this. Actually, let me set up the altitude to be 9,500. Go to vertical speed mode, and we're gonna climb at about 1,800 feet. Okay, with all that set, B one more time to set up the altimeter. Gonna put the engine up. And hoping that we will get to the end of the runway by the time the speed picks up. We'll pull off at 60, so 40 here, 50 here. Come on, we are running out of runway 60. Let's go ahead.
Airborne time logged.
Okay, not bad. Auxiliary fuel pump off. Flaps to 10. I'm going to wait until I make that turn. And okay. Relational here. Flaps completely up. Your damper can come on. And we somehow lifted off. This is just not going too well, is it? So we're gonna go ahead, take a left turn here before we hit the mountain that we have up front of us. ITT is back to normal, that is a good sign, but we definitely did a lot of damage to that engine. So autopilot is set to nav. I can go ahead, turn on our autopilot, and yeah, finally we have an RNAV approach. This is so weird. Like I usually I'm like, you know, let me do a visual, but right now I'm like, ooh, finally an RNAV approach. Let's go. It is a very, very big challenge flying in Alaska. That's one thing for sure. Respect for all those pilots that do that. Our landing elevation is gonna be, well, 300 feet. Not too bad, not too bad. And thank God we are done with this stupid airfield. That's, I think what makes it really hard is the fact that there is snow, and we had to use a whole deportation, or not, what am I saying, teleportation, a whole teleportation plug-in to make sure that we're on the right airfield. This is embarrassing, but at the same time helpless. We didn't have anything else that we could have done here. Well, at least now we don't have to come back to this place. Like, I'm not gonna come back to this place even if I have to fly a lot. Right now we were tight in fuel as well. I mean, we're not really that tight on fuel, but we just had to do this mission. I will never wanna come back here. One place I'm gonna avoid in Alaska. Maybe when the weather is good and everything, that's when we can do it. But other than that, it's not working. We're climbing at about 97, which is not bad considering we can climb at 85 to 95 knots. And we're heading towards 9,500 feet. I'll drop that down to about 8,500 actually. We don't need that much because in our inset map we are good. We're clear of the mountains even at this altitude. And if we zoom in here, what we can do is we might use the hiding bug and go through this pass. There you go, we are in our cruising altitude. So we're gonna start setting up our engine for cruise, which is RPM 2000. Lots of mountains coming up here. So I'm gonna reset my heading bug to read this one. I'll go ahead, pull back my power in order to bring down my RPM. And this is gonna be last leg for today and today's stream. So I'll keep it to 2020 and then increase my power and it will drop down to 2000. Okay, RPM is 2000, we are set and we are cruising at 8,500 feet. And we're heading towards, where's the place's name? Wasilla. So we're heading towards Wasilla, which is very very close to Anchorage, where we eventually plan to go, and from there we're gonna take our level up missions and go to the next level. And hopefully never returning to the airfield that we left, called Bush Creek, until the snow is melted and we can see the runway itself. So let's go to heading mode, and we are going to avoid those big mountains right there. Just go a little bit right and then we'll find, hopefully we're gonna find something. How's the area on our right? Oh yeah, I forgot you can't do that. So we could have taken that pass too, but that is fine. Our top of descent is around 16 minutes away. And our radio altimeter tells us we are about 2,300 feet above the ground, so we are definitely flying over a hill. We have some headwind of 17 knots too. So once we go over there, that's when we're gonna take a right turn. We'll try to avoid whatever mountains that will come on our way. And if I see on the inset map, so we have a black area over here, which means we can easily cross over that area uh, without having to worry about anything. So we should be clear here. Just zoom in on the inset map just a little bit. We're gonna take that small pass and across these mountains here. I hope we're gonna have at least one good landing. In the past 2 days in Alaska, it has not been good. We had to even rely on some supernatural teleportation in order to complete a mission, but it is what it is. Yep, we just have to go to this place right over here. And once we get there, we are gonna be good. Hopefully no more mountains, and we're gonna try to plan our flights better. We'll take some longer hops if we have to, but we are not gonna go to... It's like the place where we were at. The availability of airports were so less, like it's a remote area, so it does make sense. We'll try to stick around towards the west. I believe that's where we can find easier routes. So we'll stick around there until all the snow melts, and then we can easily visually see the runways. Once we can see the runway, I feel like no matter how it is, we can still make a landing in it without having too much trouble. Zooming on my inset map here a little bit. Perfectly using the gaps between the mountains to figure out how to go. So once we cross this hill on our left, we are going to take a left turn, and then hopefully we're going to be out of this range, this mountain range, pretty shortly. So our goal is to get somewhere over there, and then we can just go straight ahead towards our destination. Engine is looking good. All the N's and T's are green. Or T's and N's are green, and other than that startup when our ITT temperature was just crazy, rising and rising. I don't know why that was the case, but definitely we did a lot of damage to the plane that we'll see how we deal with. So our top of descent is going to be after our first waypoint, which is at 8,500 feet. Nice. So we chose a nice altitude, to be fair. For a special mission, I know we'll have to go to multiple. It's a 3-leg mission, and one of them will bring us closer to the place we just left from. But we're gonna make sure that we take a direct flight back to Anchorage, so we do not have to deal with any of that. So if you can see on my PFD, forgot what you call this, whatever 3D visualization of the land. So we're gonna just take this river in order to get out of this area of this mountain range, and then we're gonna be in open. So that should be good. I'll zoom out my inset a little bit. A perfect gap between those mountains for us here to get out pretty soon from here. We can see some clouds over there. Hopefully that's not on top of our destination, and we can get a METAR real quick. We'll go ahead and check the METAR for our destination. Visibility is good, broken at 3,900, overcast at 5,500. I think the clouds that we saw earlier, or like a minute ago, is like, I'm basically talking about these clouds, is closer or maybe on top of our destination. I mean, we are still around, how much would that, like, we're still around 25 nautical miles away, so that could be, that looks very far to be 25 nautical miles, but we'll see as we go closer and closer to our destination. Right now we're good. We're just taking this green pass between the mountains, following the river to get out of this place, and then we're gonna take a right turn, and we'll be lined up, pretty much straight up lined up with the runway. The winds are calm, so it doesn't matter what runway we land at. At least that's what the weather tells us. Other than that, we'll see how it goes. Once we get on the greens, we're gonna turn on our nav to follow the route, and we'll activate our approach one more time so we have a straight line. We'll be around, what, 30 nautical miles away from our FBO, which is Merrill Field, and then it should be good. I'll check on the map, and we're gonna try to find and stay away from the mountain range towards the city area, and we'll try to stay around within there doing our short hops. So let's see how good this goes, and hopefully we can enjoy it when the weather turns out better. During summer it should be very, very pretty, and this is the worst thing that I think, but if things doesn't go how I want to and how I like it, I think we might have to relocate and move our company to somewhere else. Now that's the worst case scenario, hoping that we get to stay in Alaska longer and for many days, but if things really go bad, then I might just decide and we might head to some other place, but it will be scenic, that's for sure. So we're almost out of the mountain range, and we're going towards the plain land or open land, and from there we'll reactivate our approach and then put our plane on nav, and we'll be straight ahead going for our nav for runway, what is it, runway 22. So our nav approach for runway 22, and we should be doing good. Finally an RNAV after so many visual approaches. I'm gonna start taking my right hand turn here. So I think this is where we're gonna go ahead and procedure, activate approach, turn on nav on our autopilot, and we should be following that now. Also for our nav to work, we're 3 minutes away from our top of descent. We're gonna set our our runway elevation is 344 feet, so we're gonna go ahead and set 800 feet, which will be 500 feet above the runway. And before that we're gonna obviously turn off the autopilot, but we're gonna set 800 feet and turn on VNAV, so we can descend using the aircraft descent profile. We're about to enter our arrival procedure of RNAV runway 22. We're gonna start descending in about 10 seconds, so let me pull back my power a little bit, and there you go. V-path is activated and we are descending down. We have some crosswind of 19 knots. The last meter that we received from the airfield was that the winds are calm, even though we have overcast clouds and whatnot. So let's go ahead and confirm that meter one more time. So destination meter timing was 17:56 Zulu. What is the time right now? It is 18:39 Zulu. So almost an hour ago. The winds were calm, the visibility is good, and yeah, hopefully that still sticks. We are on our RNAV approach for runway 22 and descending down all the way down to runway. Okay, let's see what's happening here. We're descending down pretty fast. For descent checklist, altimeter. Oh yeah, there you go. We can go ahead and get our altimeter too. So let's go to our destination. Our altimeter is 29.29. Right now our altimeter is 29.49. So we're gonna go an altimeter 29.29. So go set that. There you go. Altimeter is set. Procedure is briefed and set. Other than that, we are currently descending down, and we are around 4 minutes away from our bottom of descent, which is basically the final approach fix. Landing light is on, flaps will set accordingly. Prop right now is at 2000 still, 2000 RPM, and we'll fix that in just a bit, and your damper is going to come off once we are close to our final approach fix. Outside temperature -8 still, very cold in here. Yeah, that cloud doesn't look too good. Hopefully the wind that we got from the meter is still gonna be good. You see in this area, if we look on our inset map, let me just quickly go to our PFD. There's so many airfields around, and there are some good airports as well. So hoping that we're gonna be staying around this area, and time to time, I mean, we do have to go towards Fairbanks for our special mission. Other than that, hoping that everything goes good for our future streams, because the last two stream it was just not it. I'll put my RPM to max here. We'll stay within 140 knots as we get closer to our airfield. we have tailwind. I'm hoping that tailwind goes away. We're about to hit our final approach fix, so I'm just gonna cut down my power and start setting our flaps. So to begin with flaps 10, we're within 138 knots, so that is good. We can go ahead and turn off our yaw damper, we no longer need that. We're gonna stay within 120-25 knots as we line up with the runway. I still don't have visual of the airport. Hopefully they have some runway lights. These clouds do not look good. We still have tailwind of about 4 knots, hoping that once we descend further down that it's going to be good as well. So I'm going to turn on our approach mode here for glide path as we're about to capture it. So there we go, we are on our glide path. Cutting down my power, we are below 120, so we can set up our flaps 20. Still going on glide path. I have no visual of the runway or the airport. Auxiliary fuel pump can come on. I'm gonna stay within 95 knots. And we can go ahead and set our flaps to full. We're still around 4 nautical miles away from our, 3 nautical miles away from our airport. So we still have a little bit of tailwind, only about a knot, but that should be fine. According to the meter, the visibility should have been better, but it is not. Nothing we can do right now. Thankfully there's an RNAV approach, so we are on glide path. I think I see a little bit of white strip, so that might be the runway itself. And we're still good on the RNAV approach. I'm gonna just watch my speed here. Flaps is already full. Yeah, confirm that. Your damper is off. Everything else is on. Auxiliary fuel pump is on. Lights are on for landing. And we're gonna be good here. Yeah, I can see the runway just a little bit, which will be more than enough for us to land. And we are on RNAV, so we don't really have to worry about. We still have a lot of altitude to lose. As long as we're stable on our approach, we have just a knot of wind coming from this time, a little bit cross, but towards head of our airplane. I'm gonna try to stay within 80-85 knots here. Rudder pedals, making sure that is good. We're gonna take off when we're around 500 feet above the ground. Right now we're crossing 680. Keep my power on. Now I can see another gamer on a DC-3 at 106 feet, so probably they're on the ground still. There you go, radio altimeter says 500, autopilot goes off, and we are good to go with our landing from here.
Landing time logged.
There you go, we landed. Not a bad landing this time. Can go ahead, take the next taxiway. Flaps can go up, auxiliary fuel pump can come off, and we are going to turn on our taxi light here. And as soon as we get over the runway, take the taxiway, we are going to turn off our landing lights. This was so good, finally just finding an airport that has proper, which is a proper airport actually. Taxi light on, landing and strobe off, flaps are up, fuel condition lever to low idle, and we can go ahead park somewhere away from the snow. So there you go. We made it to the ground, and this time in a very nice fashion. We do not have to teleport as well. Okay, now that we made it to the ground, very happy about that. Let's go ahead. Our initial separator can go off, our pitot heat can go off, our air conditioning can go off, and auxiliary bus off, generator alternator off, and there you go.
Engine off time
Engine
logged.
off.
The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Beacon can go off, taxi light and nav lights can go off, and master switch goes off. So we are like done with this flight. We had a smooth landing. Not bad this time. What is this? Engine was on tracking start. Yeah, that was my bad. But we completed this mission. Everything else was looking good. And this was actually a good mission. So I'm happy that we finally ended it on a good note. And next, I know we are going to be heading towards Anchorage, where our special mission is waiting. So not here. PAMR Merrill Field. And we're gonna be starting to do our special mission, and we'll try to stay within these areas. We are no longer going towards this mountain range or anything, and we might have to go to Fairbanks International here and there, but we should be good. Okay, with that said and done, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit weird. We had to teleport, but it was just a sticky situation. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you on the next one.